Okay, situation report. I've so far cycled about 60 kilometres today. I didn't get to leave Lyon until around 3 p.m, 2:30. It's now 5 p.m. I'm pretty happy with the pace I'm making, but the downside is that 30 kilometres I've travelled, I actually passed the same McDonald's 3 times, so I was inadvertently doing loops of Bordeaux, of Lyon rather, while Google Maps, instead of telling me I'd gone the wrong way and to turn back, kept telling me to continue doing a loop. So if you know anybody at Google, please send a whole lot of expletives at them on my behalf. I'm going to try and do another 30 kilometres today. I need to find somewhere to camp tonight, and I want to do that before it's too dark. I did stop at the bottom of a hill here, not enjoying cycling, but thinking it was a good place to pause and go for a leak. And then I remembered that I'm wearing a full bib under here, and it's quite a mission. I suppose, how do blokes go for a pee in these? If you've got any hints, and they're not too grisly, let me know. I'm the first to admit that I don't like camping. My mother used to take us boys camping when we were children in Australia, and I didn't like the heat. I didn't like the substandard food. We were constantly bored. We were either being very bored or getting drowned or electrocuted by electric eels or attacked by possums. Australian possums are particularly obnoxious. But I don't know why I even joined the Boy Scouts, because that involved frequent camping. I got kicked out of the Boy Scouts. I didn't learn any skills. One of the reasons I got kicked out was I accidentally set fire to a tent. I never learned to pitch a tent. I left that to other people who are much better at it. But I have, through necessity, found my own campsite here, and it's relatively peaceful. You can just see over there the Rhone River. Cars are a couple of 100 metres away, not much noise. I thought it was peaceful until I got here, and after about 5 minutes I realised that just above me the French TGV train line comes across. Fortunately not too often, probably once every half hour, but it causes quite a knot. There's also a bit of poison ivy down here, which makes doing anything around the campsite not very attractive. I'm not sure if it's entirely legal, but as the night is closing in and my accommodation options have run dry for tonight, got no choice. But I did manage to pitch a tent. Look at that. It's a tent I bought just today at Decathlon. €30. And I sort of followed the instructions, the necessary ones anyway. There are a few bits left over. They always put in spare bits in case you lose them. But I've got my own little shelter here. There's even room for 2 in case somebody with a bit of an issue wants to join me. and my bicycle is relatively secure here. So that's my camping for tonight. I'm not going to cook anything because A, I don't have any food, and B, I ate about an hour ago at a roadside stall. So far, I would say my cycling trip has been a success in that a truck has not yet run me over. I have managed to get over some quite steep hills, and I have found a camping place for the night. I thought that was the TGV coming, but it's still some time away. It's raining outside, and I'm still warm and dry, which is proof that you don't need to follow all the instructions on the tent manual. Well, it's 6:30 in the morning. I've survived my first night of camping by myself, and nobody's stolen my bike overnight, which is I suppose a mixed blessing. At some point I have to get out of bed and pack things up, and I'm sure there's an art to packing that I haven't conquered yet. But I'm rather pleased with myself. I'm not overly cold. I've stayed dry. The bike outside got rained on. But I'm almost ready to conquer another day. And just like that, I'm completely packed up again. It took me less than 20 minutes, I think, which, given I didn't follow any instructions to start with or to end with, probably isn't that bad for a born-again camping virgin. Last night I stopped at a roadside caravan for something to eat and something to drink, and one of the customers gave me some good advice, and that was to switch to the other side of the river. So I'm now on the rive droite, the right side of the Rhône, one of the great rivers of France, and behind me is, just over the river there, is a small village, but there's a lot more villages on this side peppered along the way. This morning I've been following a cycleway. I'm not quite sure what to think about cycleways. I don't really like them in New Zealand because they just get in the way of roads, and I don't see why we New Zealanders should subsidise cyclists to do their hobbies. Nobody subsidises me to drink brandy. But here in France, if the French want to build these big long cycle paths that are away from the trucks and the cars, then I'm going to make an exception. I've stopped this morning to pick up something to eat, so I've got a wee pain au chocolat in here. Only cost €1 at the local bakery. They seem to have got the economics of bread making right here in France, and I think from now on I will forever resent paying $4 for a substandard piece of bread in a New Zealand cafe, even if it's a woke one. So here I am in all my cycling glory. I'm not sure if you can see you can just see the shorts I'm wearing. I've travelled about 50 kilometres today. I'm hoping to do another 40 more. I'm still on the cycle track. It's kind of amazing, a country of 67 million people. Haven't seen anyone pass here in the past 5 minutes. I've stopped at, I'm still on the edge of the Rhône. It's a river that doesn't seem to move. Yeah, which probably means the water's pretty manky and undrinkable. I'm kind of a wee bit tempted to find a spot near here for the night. There's lots of little sort of quiet areas away from the main track, but I haven't got any food, and soon I'm running out of things to drink, so I'm going to have to at least make it to the next town. Cycling isn't as terrible this morning as I thought it would be, and I think that's because for most of today I've had no hills to deal with, but we'll see how much worse it can get.